We start the day's other headlines in New York City with new details on the gunman who killed 4 people at a midtown skyscraper last night before turning the gun on himself. Authorities say 27-year-old Shane Tamura was a Las Vegas casino worker who drove across the country in the days before the shooting. New York City Mayor Eric Adams says his intended target was the NFL's office on Park Avenue. Tamura shot 3 people in the building's lobby before taking an elevator to a different floor and killing another person. A 5th person was critically injured. Police say the gunman was a former high school football player who had a history of mental illness. Mayor Adams told CBS about a note he left behind.
The note alluded to that he felt he had CTE, a known brain injury for those who participate in contact sports. He appeared to have blamed the NFL for his injury.
Police say they plan to question a possible associate who may have supplied parts for the rifle that Tamura used in the attack. Meantime, we're learning more about the victims of yesterday's shooting. They include security officer Eland Etienne, according to relatives in a local labor union, plus Wesley Lepatner, an executive at the financial firm Blackstone, as well as off-duty NYPD officer Didarul Islam. The 4th victim is said to be Julia Hyman, a Cornell graduate who worked at Rudin Management, the company that owns the building. The university released a statement calling her death a tragic loss. Turning now overseas, Russian attacks killed at least 27 people across Ukraine overnight after President Trump said he was moving up the timeline for Moscow to end the fighting. Ukrainian authorities say 4 powerful bombs hit a prison in the country's southeast, killing at least 16 inmates and wounding more than 90 others. And in central Ukraine, Russian strikes hit a building and a maternity hospital, killing at least 5 people, including a pregnant woman. Yesterday, President Trump said he would impose sanctions and tariffs unless Russian President Vladimir Putin moves to end the war within 10 to 12 days. A Kremlin spokesperson said today that Moscow had, in their words, taken note of Mr. Trump's warning. In China, nearly a year's worth of rain drenched the Beijing area in a matter of days, triggering floods and landslides that have killed at least 38 people. Some areas saw as much as 21 inches of rain, which peaked on Monday, sweeping away entire cars. State TV showed people crammed into small rescue boats and riding construction trucks to safety. More than 130 villages on the outskirts of China's capital lost power. Today, many residents tried to pick up the pieces of their muddied homes, but much of the region was still at high flood risk through this evening. A major deal is in the works to create the nation's first coast-to-coast freight rail company. Union Pacific is buying smaller rival Norfolk Southern in a deal valued at $85 billion. The combined company would cover 50,000 miles of rail lines across 43 states. The railroads say the merger would lead to faster freight delivery for raw materials and goods across the country. But the nation's largest rail union says it plans to oppose the merger, citing concerns about its impact on workers. And federal antitrust regulators still need to sign off on the deal. On Wall Street today, stocks ended lower despite a report showing that U.S. consumer confidence improved slightly this month. The Dow Jones Industrial Average slipped around 200 points. The Nasdaq gave back 80 points on the day, and the S&P 500 retreated from its recent all-time highs. And we have 2 passings of note this evening. Billionaire philanthropist Wallis Annenberg has died. She was the heiress to her father's publishing empire and then led his influential Annenberg Foundation for 16 years, serving as its president and chief executive. Her name adorns several public spaces around Los Angeles, including a performing arts center, the wing of a science center, and soon the world's largest wildlife crossing over the LA freeway. Her family says she died yesterday from complications related to lung cancer. Wallis Annenberg was 86 years old. The world has also lost Baseball Hall of Famer Ryne Sandberg.
There it is, way back, the record-breaking home run! Ryne Sandberg!
Sandberg was considered one of the best all-around players in the game over his 15 seasons spent almost entirely with the Chicago Cubs. He won 9 Gold Gloves for his fielding and was the National League's MVP back in 1984. On the field and off, the man known as Rhino was a fan favorite, known for his work ethic, his professionalism, and his humility. The Cubs say Sandberg died yesterday at home following a battle with cancer. Ryne Sandberg was 65 years old. Still to come on the NewsHour, We examine the growing concerns about misogynistic online content that's appealing to some young men. A Democratic and a Republican senator's bipartisan effort to combat wildfires. And a look at the South Korean musical that's captivating audiences on Broadway.
This is the PBS NewsHour from the David M. Rubenstein Studio at WETA in Washington, and in the West from the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism at Arizona State University.